Julio, obviously a big win for you back in July. I guess I wanted to ask just kind of how important that was, after the time away, after a couple of close losses, to go in there and get a finish. How big was that for you?
It was that victory actually meant a lot because I was on the shelf for like a year and a half after a double elbow surgery. And then after, having like 2 split decision losses at 45, during that time, I made the change to go to 35. And I think, it created a couple, made a couple of waves here and there. And people knew it was like, oh, this guy's coming 35. This guy means business. So that was a huge victory for me.
Yeah. To talk about those split decision losses, I mean, how tough is that to digest, I guess? You know what I mean? Do you take lessons out of it, or is it just like, damn these judges? I mean, how does it go?
It's a bit of both, I look at the loss to Shayman Moraes. I'll tell you what, that was one of my favorite fights. I learned a lot from that fucking fight. But, sorry if I cursed. But it was the fact that, look, you can clearly see the size difference in those fights. You can clearly see that I'm always a smaller guy in all these fights. But, look, I held my own at 45. That dude dropped me. He could not put me away, and I got back up. I kept fighting. And first round, it was a close one. Second round, he took. Third round, I took. But I think the fact that it was since I was the one bleeding the most, they were like, yeah, let's lean forward towards that guy. So, it's a toss-up. But then, I just take a look at myself and I'm like, you know what? I should have done more. Then when the other split decision loss, it's a styles fight. And like I said, they could have viewed it any way. Even though, when I fought Hakeem, he was upset about that he got the win. He's like, I didn't win that fight. But I was like, man, I got to get back and I got to do better. So, I reflect on those fights because they were close, and they're close for a reason, and they're close because I could have done more. Yeah,
it's a great way to look at it. All right, so bantamweight now. How different is the lifestyle? Is this something that you have to focus on every day? Because this is a pretty quick turnaround for you.
Yeah, man. Look, after being off for a year and a half, I was like, look, I'm here to come back, and I'm going to come back, and I want to be able to fight as much as possible. So at least I got 2 fights in this year, and then possibly next year try to get at least 3 more fights in. But my focus is on Song right now, who's a tough opponent in front of me, and I'm just looking to now really break into these rankings. And look, I'm all in on this. I'm not here to mess around. I'm here to make up for lost time.
Yeah. Is it like a lifestyle change for you to get to 35? You have to focus on diet every day, or what's it been like for you?
Yeah, I had to. I make sure I always monitor my weight. I have Eric Pena, who works with a lot of the fighters, and he does my nutrition for me. So he always makes it easier for me to cut down to 35. He's making it real simple. So it's not like a struggle where you're like, God damn, I'm like dying to have some food. It's like, no. It's like I'm cutting my weight healthily. I feel great. I feel energized. I feel ready to go. I don't feel depleted at all. And it was just making some adjustments. So the time off for me was actually really good because it made me focus on little things, little details that I could have missed during, the start of my UFC career. And now we adjusted those details, and now we're on it.
So definitely a division for you then.
Yep, you can clearly tell.
We'll talk about the matchup, right? They give you Song Yadong. Obviously he's been kind of a highly respected guy, a prospect. So what did you think when this was the matchup they gave you?
I'll tell you what, I got excited because I thought after my fight with Ewell, it went the way that I wanted to. And I think people realized that, one, I have power in my hands. I can stand up. People seen that I can go down to the ground. And, I thought I was going to get another, another opponent in the lower ranks. And they gave me somebody who was a top rank. So I think it's now they're watching me. The fact that they gave him, they put me up against him, not only shows that, it shows that I'm moving up as well. And that now you got two tough competitors right there, ready to go at it. Yeah. So I'm excited about this matchup.
Had you been watching him? Obviously it wasn't your division, and maybe you weren't ready, you weren't thinking of that part of the rankings. Had you been watching him, and what do you think of him?
Yeah, look, one, he's young. He's 23 years old. So he's young, explosive, he's athletic. He's got a lot of hype behind him. And for someone like him, he's still coming up. He's still looking to improve. For me, I'm I'm 32 years old, but guess what? I'm in my prime. So you can't sleep on me because now I got 10 extra years of experience. I've been doing this now for, 20 years of just being in the martial arts, and I continue to train every single day. That's what I bask myself in. That's what I'm living and breathing every day. There's nothing else. And that's all that I do. So, yeah, he's a tough opponent, but you know what? So am I.
Yeah. You win here. I mean, you got to be, even though you're new to the division, right? You got to be talking about rankings. So what's the process here? You kind of feel like, it sounds like you want to fight like as much as possible and make up for some lost time, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, a year and a half layoff that, of course I had to get surgery on my elbows and little things here and there. But then I was like, this is our time. It's like, let's make a run. Like, I just want to fight. I just want to fight. And that's what I got these 2 fights in. Next year, looking to fight at least 3 more times, 3 or 4 times. Right, depending how the fight's going. I'm not, no major injuries, but I just want to stay busy.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I guess, how do you see this one playing out? Because on paper, it seems like it might be a pretty exciting little back and forth scrap, but I'm sure you want to go in and dominate, not be in a battle. But how do you think this one goes? Dude,
all I know is this is going to be a barn burner. It's like people, this is going to be it's going to be an intense fight because look, we got two strikers. We're gonna go at it. Right, and it's about, but at the end of the day, I'm looking to come out with my hand-raising victory. Whether it goes decision, knockout, submission, does not matter. Like, I'm looking to leave there victorious, and I'm looking to move into the rankings and make my climb up the ladder.